Well, hello me lovelies, it's me Ned Natter with the unpasteurised and unfiltered Ned Natter Show, ready to brighten your day. I love to gossip after a long day of taking care of things down here on my Florida farm. But first up, it's great to be here with you again. Thanks so much for your lovely comments and messages. It's time for a good old natter, but remember, I don't chat about the regular news and current affairs. Oh no, I might have a bit of odd news though, but you don't want me repeating everything you've already seen and heard, do you? So I'm here to give you a break from it all. A good laugh, even when it is only once a week on a Wednesday. Remember, you can listen to all my shows again at nednatter.com. Yep, okay, well, put everything down. No, everything, I mean you too. Come on. It's time for the Ned Natter Show. And you can't miss this. Well, my lovelies, they returned late in the evening from Atlantic City. Of course, that's the wife Elsie and me mum, old Nan. Well, as you might remember, old Nan paid for a limo with some of her winnings to get home sooner, and with a chance to drink the miles away too. I'm really surprised they even got back, and the driver hadn't dumped the old hag somewhere on the I-95. When they stopped halfway for a nap, apparently he slept in a motel and left them in the limo arguing. I pictured an all-out, or should I say all-in wrestling match in the back. You know, once they'd stopped arguing, even though Nan is over 90, she's not shy of a fight. Oh no. After all, you can't really miss our Elsie. She's an easy target. Worse still, when old Nan's had a few bottles, that is, she gets really spiteful and seems to forget her age. Added to that, the alcohol seems to switch off her arthritis for a while. See, it doesn't help that she watches so much boxing and wrestling on the TV. Oh yeah, she spent years learning all the moves. When they arrived, the driver was exhausted, absolutely physically and mentally exhausted. I got the impression that he was considering, even a different job in the future, Well, he'd not only driven all that way, but they'd made him stop about 20 times, for restrooms and food breaks and all the rest. His passengers were still arguing away and drinking. Old Nan was 90 proof. On the other hand, the wife is difficult, well, particularly when she's drunk. Yep, difficult to move. Getting her out the limo was near impossible. Oh dear. It was like there was a vacuum behind her, holding her in there like a can of beans or something, Oh, I had to get Ding Dang to help me prise her out. Well, he got behind her and pushed, and believe me, that's a dangerous job, particularly after she's been eating fast food for 24 hours. While we were fighting with the wife, the driver took the other 4 bags out of the trunk. A lot easier. Old Nan was only interested in waving her winnings in me face before paying off the driver and giving him the kiss of death right on the lips. Nothing worse than an inebriated slobber, is there? Ooh. Added to that, she hadn't shaved for 6 days. Ooh. Well, we've never seen a limo accelerate so fast before. It disappeared into the dust. See, we've had a dry period. He didn't even ask for a cleaning fee on top of his usual amount. The carpet and back seats looked, well, if someone had emptied a trash can in the back. Once Nan was indoors, she began to rattle on about her plans. Las Vegas without Elsie very soon. Oh, she's on a winning streak, she says, and now she's going to turn her 20 grand into $1 million by the end of the year. She said she wasn't going to be held back this time by Elsie or a dubious 1-900 phone-in fortune teller mystic Madeline. Oh, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Then, to make her point, she became her usual evil self and slammed Elsie's so-called lucky charms. Then went on about rabbit feet being lucky, not elephant feet. Well, Elsie ignored her this time and headed for the freezer. 5 minutes at home and the microwave was back at work on a frozen pizza, and a bucket of ice cream was soon defrosted on the countertop. I had an urgent need, to check something in the barn. Somewhere to sleep away from those two, as well as dodge any flying objects. They love to throw things at each other. See, it's easier than getting out of the sofa for a real fight. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Well, once I reached the barn, I got approached by Quintin, me actor, camper, tenant. Yep, him and his partner are still here. So, it was going to be one of those days or evenings, whichever way you like to look at it. No escape from people who annoy me. Quintin, was flamboyantly dressed as usual, I might add. Well, put it this way, a rainbow-coloured scarf with more pink than your average rainbow, along with a yellow and black t-shirt, white golf shorts, black socks and flip-flops. Well, believe me, that's flamboyant by my standards, particularly around the farm anyway. Quentin, I suppose, looked like something like a wasp at a gay pride match. Anyway, he's decided my show needs his input and his Hollywood expertise. Yep, of course, Quentin, I really want someone who lives in a tent and broken down trailer on my farm running my show. Added to that, I think he's talking about Hollywood, Florida. Yep, his former hometown. And although they're very culturally minded down there, it's hardly the centre of the entertainment industry. Quintin did appear though in a couple of movies years back, I'll give him that, but only as an extra. Yep, in the crowd scenes, the kind of thing, those kind of films, 500 other extras mostly. Long before digital manipulation got rid of him. If you'd have blinked, you'd have missed him. Yep. But nevertheless, Quintin's pretty manipulating person. Yep, he doesn't need any digital assistance with that. When he was in California and not acting, he was an hairdresser. Yep, and a bad one. His movie making experience was mostly shaving the heads of already nearly bald actors. Yep, even the women. After all, when Quintin had styled their hair, baldness and a wig was the only hope of getting cast in anything ever again. His partner, Coagulate, has been a victim of those hairstyling techniques for too long now. Yep. After all, there's only so far you can take a peroxide blonde comb over, especially when that good old naturally created centre pattern gets wider by the day. I think I'm getting one of them too, the pattern that is. Yep. It's mostly worry, lack of sleep, and having to deal with the wife and my old mother. Anyway, I digress. At least Coagulate's more honest, about his time in the movie business. Oh, yep, he was a janitor at a Miami movie theatre. He's well up on the movie history, though. Oh, yeah. He's watched just about every one that came out over a 30-year period. Even when he'd come out long before that. And long before those thumbs-up critic guys came along, the kind, he was waving his O's around the theatre. Yep, the moments the light went up. Oh, sorry, I meant, to add his vacuum cleaner O's. Yeah. Nowadays, he gives guitar lessons to young men, whilst his partner, Quentin, likes to paint them. Yep, no, the men, not the guitars, yep. Mostly, he hangs them around the barn to dry. No, again, the paintings, not the men. Yep. He can only dream of men hanging around me barn. Anyway, usually they run away afterwards, with or without their clothes. When he tells them that he wants to use a bigger brush to get the best effects. Or even a smaller one to get their finer details. So after those considerations, I decided the barn was out of bounds and considered sleeping with me hens. It got that bad. Oh dear. I'm allergic to straw dust. Yeah. So it was back to the house. I could hear our Elsie snoring 50 feet away. And old Nan, asleep in front of the TV, blaring away it was. She's still clutching her winnings and an empty bottle. Yep, she only used the glass beside her for her dentures, not the whiskey. Fortunately though, I've got earplugs, Yep, one of the best inventions known to humankind they are. Yep. Mind you, whilst I was having a little time to myself, thumbing through this new book on growing monster cabbages and their nitrogenous needs. Very nice. I began to think about how much labour I'm going to need for my new farming operation, and returned to that earlier meeting with old Quentin. Yep, the rent's kind of overdue. Well, I'll be honest with you, they rarely pay it, and never on time. It's my fault for doing what we used to call a gentleman's agreement, handshake deal. Oh, there's no clause about time and date and arrears in them. Oh no. So the dubious pair love. It's a sight hardship. Oh, Coagulate only earns $10 for guitar lessons, and he doesn't charge quite a few of his pupils. Yep, they're pretty hard up too, and usually the best looking ones. Added to that, Quintin's paintings aren't selling at all. Well, you've not seen them, have you? No. Oh dear. Well, they're mostly male nude studies. Well, because he spends more time studying the subject. Well, in fact, he don't take his eyes off them. He doesn't check the canvas. Oh dear. So, abstract is a polite word for absolute mess. Yep, and I try to keep an open mind about art myself, especially Picasso and people like that. And the worst part is Quentin still insists they're wonderful nude figure studies. Yep. When, if he went and told some New York gallery he only had one eye, a bad limp, and was from the LBGT community, they'd pass him off as an abstract landscape painter and a tortured artist. So even though they don't know it yet, me campers are about to become volunteers. Well, I guess conscripted work is a better word for it, it describes me plans. Within weeks, they'll be sewing and hoeing on a daily basis. Yep, by the time the day is over, they'll be too bush to paint or pluck. Strings, that is, not ends. Once they've paid down the rent, they'll either get an hourly rate or have to move somewhere else. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Going back to the subject of family, I had another annoying message left on my voicemail. Yep, from my brother back Natter. He's still going about his ends not laying. See, I ignored his last call. Well, roughly translated, that means help. Oh no, he's calling now. Excuse me while I just get him out of the way. Yes, Buck, I got your message. Yep, I know you left it twice. No, I'm a busy man. Ignoring you? Well, after your last rant about me show, I think I have a right to ignore you. No, so alright, well, why do you think your ends aren't laying then? No, that's not funny, Buck. No, you reckon it's because you played me show in the hen house and me voice upset them to the point where they stopped laying. Yeah, sure, you'll use any excuse to get on me show. If me listeners heard your voice on this show, they'd stop. No, not laying, idiot. Listening. You called me worse things, but now I'm hanging up. No, like I said, I don't want you anywhere near me show. So stop calling. Yep, same to you. Oh, thank goodness for that. Close to home. I've been ploughing. That's right, my retirement age tractor is out of retirement. I'm starting me first 10 acres of cabbages, then 10 acres of collards, and then 10 acres of kale. I don't know why 10's the magic number, but it sounded just right. I'll have the greenest, most tasty farm round here. Added to that, I'm going to be organic. Well, me greens are anyway. I've had to teach me farmhand Ding Dang a few tricks from eggs to seeds. Also, because he's got one eye turned in, there's no hope of a straight row to sow round here. So that's down to me. He doesn't know it yet, but in a few weeks he's going to be hoeing all them weeds. No more time out, left back at the barn smoking away. Nope, it's going to be the hardest he's ever worked in his life. Well, it'll probably be the first time he's worked in his life, actually. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. On the subject of nightmares, I'm still having these really weird dreams. Yep, there's something in the air, something different. The nightmares are often about bringing new guests on me show. Yep, and me worst one recently was not about guests. No, it was about Elsie. That'd be taking things too far having her as a guest, I can tell you. It was about her sticking all me life savings on red number 7 at the casino again. Oh dear. Well, you can sure understand why I'd be having a bit of a nightmare about that, eh? It's all too recent in me mind, and you already know at what point I wake up. Yep, right away, in a cold sweat, hoping it was really a dream. Me other recent nightmare didn't happen in bed at all. No, it was going to Rush's place, me part-time incontinent political commentating neighbour's cookout, and having to listen to nearly 5 hours of rhetoric. It was bad enough before, with just his wacky ideas and opinions, but now he's got his new tenant buddies, a couple of senior-age Republican agitators from South Florida. Yep, Donald and Mitch. Worse still, they call themselves the Bored Boys of Brevard County. Oh dear. They rattle on continuously. It's like listening to a Republican in a cappella. A medley of anti-blues sentiments is the name of their song, and it goes on 24/7. Long-winded is an understatement. The song changes each day with the latest conspiracy or news. And who believes what you read anymore when everything is planted and fake? I don't trust anything I read online. But Rush's Stonewall Jackson Farm Trio are ready with a very limited repertoire. Yep, it's like the vocal version of one of them 3-chord wonder bands, only I can't see any chart success soon. Of course, Rush has always got something to say, and he's more confident since he's got that porta pot in his front yard. This time, he went straight into his latest news. As you know, Rush's farm has become a kind of mini GOP HQ for his latest plan, Agenda 24. Yep, sounds grand, doesn't it? You're right, it does sound like some kind of medication too, though. At least he's got some support, from his new tenants. Yep. I didn't really know what to say about this new phenomenon, but one thing for sure, I'm going to be in for much longer briefing when I visit Rush in the future. Especially if they all come out to natter about their views and take on the latest news at once. Oh dear, Rush has even got a couple of stand-ins for when he needs to give me that gotta go routine. I was hoping they'd have weak bladders too. So far there's no guarantee on that front. Anyway, whatever happens, still hidden in Rush's agenda, there are always some good points, aren't there? Few even factual, Rush says they've had to go on some new social media platform because he reckons Twitter doesn't like them. I wonder why not, Rush. As I mentioned last time, 3 seniors talking about how great things were and how bad they are now and what's wrong with the world today. Added to that, they've got a corrupted point of view when their world extends to about 16 states, and the enemies, as they call them, are what we call the blue states. As I said before, it's a minor version of the GOP convention at his place. Yup, groaning old people, that kind of GOP. As you know, me swinging nudist neighbour old Fred is fully engaged now, but he's at cross purposes with old Rush. See, Fred has convinced him that he needs to be in charge of investigating the swing states, considering his experience with swinging. Yep. Old Rush is a conservative viewpoint man, so he's never included swinging in his life. So he's bought right into old Fred's plan. Oh dear. I'm looking forward to the outcome of Fred's research. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Me lovely vegan neighbour young Alice invites me over to her farm for coffee and vegan cake once a week. Well, I wandered over to see her, and she's on a mission, and it couldn't be further away from Rush's agenda, so I'm not complaining. See, her plan is to tell me more about me star sign, and how growing greens will put me at peace with the earth. Well, it's not your average horoscope. Being at peace with the earth sounds wonderful. It's just when I get home, see, that's when the peace ends. There's the wife and me mother, avid loud TV fans, Then me daughter young Dolly's got a phone now. Yeah, oh dear, a gift from Elsie. Dolly's put down all them educational books I bought her and taken up a new hobby. Yup, staring at an illuminated slab in her hand. Oh dear again. I'm not at peace with that at all. Anyway, when I left young Alice, she had a wonderful smile on her face. Yup, so I guess I'm doing something right. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here you can find me and me shows at nednatter.com. Well, me lovelies, I'm always getting nice messages, questions and odd news from you, me listeners, and I feature them in me shows. They're still pouring in, and I pick a few that catch me eye each time, and if I don't feature yours, remember there's only one of me. Anyway, a few of them will really make you think. You know, I got it all here on the Ned Natter Show. Right then, the first of me items comes from Beatrice in Baltimore. It's about the customs folks in Australia, long way away, using electronic noses to sniff out exotic animal smugglers. Oh dear. See, you don't need an electronic nose to sniff out me hens. No. Anyway, when anything in the animal department needs sniffing out round here, I just get me blind neighbour old Lonnie over. He can smell roadkill a mile away. So an endangered species is something in someone's luggage, would be, well, I guess, a delicacy for him. Yep. Smells real good, Ned. Oh dear, he's never tried roasted or grilled shingleback lizard before. My second item comes from Marilyn in Minneapolis, and it's about turtles. Yep, sea turtles. See, she read this article about how turtle eggs get eaten for snacks and smuggled off the beaches in Central America. Costa Rica, places like that. So the turtles are losing out bad to humans again. Well, not all is lost. Some clever environmental folks have been putting decoy eggs in the nests. Yep, decoys, and inside they place miniature GPS transmitters, and they send out a little bleep every hour to let them know where the eggs are headed. Well, Marilyn, sounds great. Well, until someone eats a decoy egg, I suppose, and swallows the transmitter. Yep, might end up with some false data right there. Especially if they pass it, during the day or two, Oh dear. But it did get me thinking, that little point about the decoy eggs, decoy hen eggs here on the farm might solve a few mysteries. But then again, I already know where the bleeps are going to come from. Yep. Me farmhand Ding Dang's trailer. But that also got me thinking again, and I thought, yep, booby-trapped eggs, that kind, the kind that explode. Ding Dang would soon have egg on his face with that plan, wouldn't he? My last item comes up as a question. It comes from Bob in Boston. It concerns self-driving cars, and to be honest, they really bother me too. So, old Bob's confused. Yep, he likes a drink, maybe a few drinks. When he goes to his favourite bar, he has to get a taxi home. It's that old, over the limit under arrest thing. He wants to know if he buys one of them, self-drivers, will he be able to get home when he's blind drunk? That's something I never considered, Bob. It sounds terrifying to me. Worse still, will the car remember your home address for you? Or will it have one of them breath sensors in there, a politically correct electronic genius, end up simply driving you to the nearest jail, making an emailed reservation for you on the way over? Oh dear. Well, Bob, you got us thinking, but quite frankly, I'm going to put it out of my mind real quick. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show. When I'm not here, you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Well, me dubious common agent 50% has lined me up with a new ad this week. It's kind of different to say the least, but I have to take a non-judgmental viewpoint with 50%, so here goes, me lovelies. Are you looking for the biggest range of used auto parts on the planet? Well, you're in luck at Sid's. We've got parts for every car, van and truck ever made. Yep, and if it's not in our warehouse, we'll get it for you in 48 hours. Yep, it's the guarantee only SIDS can offer. We've got our folks out night and day looking for new stock. Nothing is unavailable to our specialists. The rarest parts are out there somewhere and we'll get our hands on them. Buy online today, you'll find our prices are an absolute steal. Or simply place your order for out of stock items and don't forget our 48-hour guarantee. So download a Tor browser today and visit us on the dark web now at sidschopshop.org. Oh dear, well, I wasn't expecting that one, my lovelies. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and whichever way you dice it, the Ned Natter Show is unpasteurised and unfiltered. But that's all, my lovelies, and on that note I better go. So until next time, remember farmers are getting older, some more than others. It's time some new blood came down on the farm and gave us an hand. Shite matters, without us you wouldn't have anything to eat. Without me, your Wednesdays wouldn't be so much fun, would they? In the meantime, you can find me and me shows at nednatter.com along with them social media links. Come by and say hi. All me shows are on YouTube and Apple Podcasts and a few other places, so you can subscribe there too. Thanks so much for listening. It's been a pleasure chatting with you again, and I hope you join me on the Ned Natter Show soon. So until then, keep a smile on your face, think positive, and don't sweat the small stuff. The grass is not always greener on the other side. It might just be a freeway. Goodbye, my lovelies.